Hi. Okay, so let's start out with something funny. I found my teeth, guess where? In the bird's bed. So this is hanging in his cage. He sleeps in it every night. And he has taken to protecting his stuff that he likes to steal in the bottom of his cage. And so I just leave it in there, whatever, change the paper, put it back. But I was changing his I have two of these, and I was changing it. And when I pulled it out, my teeth fell out of it. Little shit, he hid it in here and was sleeping with it. Anyway, I cleaned them, sanitized them, and stuck them in my mouth. Okay, so this bird just cracks me up. Okay, so mom update. Blood pressure is kind of off the chain. Where before it was pretty good, and she wasn't really taking blood pressure medication. Now all of a sudden it's really high. Now I don't know if it's because she is stressed out because of the pacemaker surgery coming on Monday, or if it's something else brewing. I don't know, but I'm keeping a close eye on that blood pressure. Um, okay, now interesting. Say a little prayer for my mom on Monday with the pacemaker surgery. It's supposed to be half an hour, local anesthetic with a IV of something that's going to make her you know, see butterflies and gold hanging from the ceiling or whatever. She doesn't really do that well with those kind of medications. She hallucinates and it takes her a while to get back to her normal self. We've been through not pacemaker surgery, but really powerful pain medications, and she was like seeing gold underneath the bed and snakes on the ceiling and calling 911 at the at the nursing home to say that the place was on fire. Oh Lord, it was not fun. Anyway, so I'm not really looking forward to this really high-powered, relaxing medication because she doesn't always do that well. However, to Leslie Earl, um, I read the criteria of the link you sent me for palliative care, and my mother absolutely. I have a hair that's bugging me. I don't know what the story is. Anyway, um, and so Rosemary from Mobile Med came over to give my mom an exam earlier, late last week. And I said, listen, um, I'm having a hard time doing this all myself. Why is my mom not eligible for palliative care at this point? I mean, why can I not get some help? And she said, well, you can, and you're right. She's eligible when she's comes home after the pacemaker medication. I'll get somebody here from palliative care to assess your needs, and you can absolutely get palliative care. Really? Because I've been asking for months. All of a sudden, it's just fine now. Oh yeah, if you want it, you can have it. What? Okay. Anyway, I'm not going to dwell on that. I'm just going to be grateful if I get some help. Um, okay, so interesting fermented skate fish oil update. So, there's a lot of changes, a lot of things like I see, colors in front of people's faces, like when I'm out and about, when I go out and about. Not necessarily in front of my mom's face. Definitely when people are behind like a white background or no background outside, I can see their auras. Um, but uh, late, at night after I get the bird to bed, which sometimes he goes in the cage himself and sometimes I got to chase his ass. Uh, I go to bed and a lot of times I set out to meditate and I'm out, I'm asleep. But last night, um, I set out to meditate and I was able to stay awake because I got a little nap yesterday. So I was like, yay, nap. And, meditate, meditate, meditate. Nothing much was happening, but I was, I was kind of done thinking. And so my mind kind of went blank, and I was thinking, wow, you got nothing to think about? Nope. And just kind of quiet. And I was like, this is kind of awesome. No, you got to wash the floor, you got to vacuum again, you got to clean the windows, da da da, just nothing. I was like, awesome. So I was laying there, and the vibrating started. And up until this point, when the vibrating started, I was like, ooh, cool, vibrating. And then I would fall asleep. So I never really got past the vibrating. I never found out what the vibrating was about. Last night, the vibrating started pretty aggressively, vibrating. I was like, ooh, here we go. And then it kind of calmed down to like a constant vibrate, but low, kind of just not like real all energetic, just kind of like steadied out. And though I could feel the vibration, it was like really soothing. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And then this little like ball of light started to open in my mind, just open. And it was very bright. And you couldn't really see in, and it was kind of silvery and liquidy. And I'll pop this space like right to where it ended. Like you could see where it began, where the liquidy stuff began, and my mind was, so it was kind of like in my mind. Anyway, so this little cute little being just kind of popped to the, like this, and I was like, "Ooh, hi," and it kind of gave me the feeling, "Come with me." And so I was like, well, all right. And the vibrating started really vigorously again. And I just kind of followed this being through this portal. Could it be a portal? I'm not sure what it was. But when I got in there, it was very bright. I didn't see any buildings or any trees or anything, but there were a lot of beings that just came into being. Right? Of all different kinds. I wish I could draw, I would draw them, but some of them were like energy beings, some of them were outlines, and then like light in there where you could tell what they were. Some of them were animal-like, some of them were human-like, some of them were ancient-looking, some of them were just, and they just started all to like present before me, and none of them looked mean, none of them had bad looks on their faces. They all felt to me like very friendly. I felt as if I knew them. They were familiar, but I didn't really know who they were. Like you're looking and you're like, ooh, I know you, but where do I know you from? How do I know you? I didn't know, and I really didn't feel like trying to figure it out right then. I was like just enjoying it. I was like, wow. I'm thinking this feels way different than, I feel weightless. I'm kind of floating. It's really kind of good energy in here. It wasn't anything real exciting energy. It was just very, kind of steady and calm and blissful, and, like, ooh, this is pretty nice. I can stay in here. And then I just floated back through I was like, okay, thank you. And, I got the feeling like, come back, or, whatever, just like, hey. And I kind of moved back through the portal and settled back into, I don't know, maybe my body, but it, I didn't feel like a big jolt or anything. I just kind of floated back in and kind of settled down, and I made a, I remember saying, okay, it can close now. I got to go to sleep. And it closed very slowly. And I woke up this morning and I was like, that was awesome. I want to do that again. So I got the feeling that it was a different, if you want to say dimension. And I also got the feeling as I felt into it or concentrated on it, that all these dimensions and all these realities are within us at all times. That's what I just got. And it's just work and allowing and being open to the fact of accessing it. So I was like, because my first thought was, ooh, that was easy to get in there. And then I thought, well, no, it wasn't, because it took me 9 months to be able to meditate the first time. It's taken me 3-4 years to get to this point. So no, it wasn't easy. It wasn't hard either. It was just sticking with it, right? Continuing to do it. And, I'm the type of person, like, I give it a certain amount of time. And then if I feel like, that's enough, it's not going to work, forget it. I'll move on to something else. But in the case of meditation, I, maybe for a few weeks I would be like, okay, I surrender, and then go right back, and then go right back, and then keep it up and keep it up and keep it up. And so it's interesting. That was a very interesting experience. And there was no like verbal talking. It was all communication through feeling. And so I think that was a lesson there, that, the clear cognizance, which is most definitely my dominant, thing. I don't want to call it gift. I don't want to call it ability. I don't want to call it special power. My thing, okay? It's just the way I was made. And it's all about knowing through feelings that are either within me myself from past experiences, or are sent from wherever, right? So I think the thing is, for me right now, is to really, really, really concentrate on the clear cognizance, not so much the wanting to see shit and hear shit, and, more the feeling stuff, because that's my thing. And so that's awesome to know, Anyway, so bottom line, awesome meditation. For those of you who are trying to meditate or having a hard time meditating, don't kick yourself in the ass, because, I had a hard time. Just stick with it. Little baby steps at a time. It's amazing. It's amazing. It really is. And it took me a long freaking time. So you all have a nice weekend. And Monday is the big day for Mom. That's the TV, not special lights coming from above or anything. Let's be clear. Not today, anyway. You have a nice weekend. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, okay? Thank you.